Hi guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Oh my gosh, I'm super excited about today's video because this one has been really long awaited on my channel. I get a lot of comments under my video saying, when are you gonna use this product again? Or like, I wanna see you use this. Like, can you use this again? You used it once and you didn't use it again. I need you to update us, you know, different things like that, which I definitely understand. I do wanna say to all the people that wanna see me use certain products again or talk about them and share my thoughts on them again, I have to give myself like at least a month and a half to 2 months to use the products on my own time after I review them, so I can do like a product roundup video. This will be my second one this year because it has literally been 2 months since my last one. So it gave me the perfect amount of time to sit down, play with these products after, you know, I've reviewed them and collect my thoughts, because your girl has some thoughts, okay? I have some thoughts on these products and I'm gonna be sharing them with you guys today. This is gonna be a very long video, so grab a snack, grab a drink, grab something, and let's sit down and talk about makeup. I have so many products. I've reviewed so much in the past 2 months since my last one. So we're gonna start off with the most recent things. Some of them you guys have seen in my favorites video, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on that. But if you haven't seen my favorites video, definitely go check it out. I'll link it in a card above. By the way, before we really get into this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and join the fam. Follow me on my Instagram at Tatiana.Anissa. Follow your girl on TikTok at Tatiana.Anissa. And follow me on Twitter at Tatiana.Anissa. I also have a giveaway going right now on my channel. I will also include that in a card above, so definitely go and check it out. It's my 3K giveaway, so definitely check it out if you want to possibly win some awesome, amazing makeup products. So I'm just gonna start off with what's on top, and I talk about these a lot and I hope you guys don't get tired of me talking about this. I'm not gonna spend too much time on it, but if I talk about it a lot, you guys have to know that I love it. And that's the new Juvia's Place Bronzer and Blush Duos. I think this is probably my favorite product that Juvia's Place has ever come out with. I absolutely love this product. Like, I want more. I want like highlighter duos. I really do want more blush duos because I feel like 2 wasn't enough. I need more. I need more shades. I need more like range. I need more from Juvia's. I love their blush formula and it's just so good. These 2 are like my favorite blush shades. They're like my perfect blush shades. And they're really pigmented and I love them. It doesn't even look like I've touched them, but I've used them every single day. And then the bronzer is right here. So the deep dark one that I have, I use as a contour. I'm wearing both of these palettes today. Look at how gorgeous it just looks. So yeah, this is the deepest one in the collection and I use both as my contour. And then this one right here is the bronzer in the shade dark, and I use this like as my bronzer. I personally think this has the perfect amount of red. Some people don't like red in their bronzers, but I love it, and it just adds warmth. I mean, that's what a bronzer is supposed to do, add warmth, and this definitely gives me what I want. Let's move on to Jaclyn Cosmetics because this is the product that I just was like, I need to talk to you guys about. So first off, this was in my favorites video for the month of May. This is the setting palette. I absolutely adore this palette. I love it. It's like my finishing touches kind of palette. It's amazing and I really love it. Like, it's a great palette. I love having it in my collection. Honestly, anytime I use Jaclyn's products, I just feel bougie. Her aesthetic is just an aesthetic that I definitely like love. I feel like we have pretty similar aesthetics. Love her packaging. I love her aesthetic. I personally find that this works better for me if I don't use it to set my concealer. I have to use an actual setting powder to set my concealer, and then once I'm pretty much done with my makeup, before I go in with setting spray, I'll go in with the setting palette and, you know, kind of brighten up. Let's talk about her setting powder because I have used this multiple times because I'm really trying to formulate my thoughts on it, and I really wanted to love this product. Like, I really did, but I'm not a fan of the setting powder, honestly. And I've used it multiple times. I've tried to use it with full coverage concealers. I've tried to use it with lighter coverage concealers and just like use the littlest amount of this, but for some reason it just, I don't like how it lays on the skin. It doesn't really give me an airbrush kind of finish. I can't really tell if that's because this brightening banana shade is not banana-y enough for me. It just doesn't give me enough yellow, you know? But the banana shades that I have in other setting powders just seems like they have a little bit more yellow in it. Whereas hers just is like a lighter banana. I feel like it should go, there should just be a little bit more yellow in this powder. So maybe that's the problem. It's just not a good shade for me, but so I don't know if the next shade up will be too deep. Honestly, I might pick it up. Now that it's at Ulta, I might pick it up and see if it has something to do with the color and this just not being a good shade for me, or this shade just being too light for my skin tone. So that's my thoughts on that. To be continued, definitely. But her under eye primer is, first of all, I love to apply this. It is very fun to apply. It does give me a smooth, a smooth finish under my eyes, but I can't necessarily say I don't get that finish with a regular all over face primer, you know what I mean? I don't know if you necessarily need to go out and purchase this under eye primer. I feel like if you love Jaclyn, then you definitely probably would want to, but it does blur under the eyes and it is really cooling and things like that, but I don't know if this is like a necessity for your makeup routine, but it is very fun to apply. I just recently tried the eaze, what is this called? The Eye Brightener Bright Fix Concealer, and I really did like this. It is a really bright shade, and when I first initially went in with this, it was a little bit too much that I put on, so that was definitely my fault. I do have the shade, what is this called? The shade Almond Butter, and it's a really gorgeous shade. I think it definitely works for me. You can never go wrong with like a lighter coverage concealer, especially when you just use a tinted moisturizer, because every time I use a tinted moisturizer and I use just any concealer, I try not to go full coverage concealers. I try to go more thin concealers, but you can just see a drastic difference between like not really wearing makeup on the face and then having just concealer under the eyes that is just not the exact same coverage as, you know, the tinted moisturizer that you put down. So this I really do like. I didn't use it on camera, but I did use it off camera, and I will say I do like it. It is very light coverage, but I think this is a perfect product for those summer months that are coming up, because you need something lightweight when you do less coverage makeup looks, you know? On a different note, I have been trying the Eavesdrop Blurring Skin Tint from Fenty. I have the shade 20 because that was the shade recommended to me, but the shade 21 was just way too deep for my skin tone, so I didn't go with that one. But a lot of people love this product, but I just can't get behind it. I don't know what it is, and I don't know if I'm doing something wrong with this. I think I mentioned this in another video when it first kind of came out, that I was trying to figure out the best way to apply this. I've tried a sponge, I've tried a brush, I've tried my fingers, and I don't know why, but like it just doesn't give me an even type of finish. I feel like I'm just using more product than I need to with this particular product. Not because I'm trying to get coverage, but because I'm just trying to get it to cover my skin. Not like blemishes or anything. I'm just trying to get it to be like not, I just need it to cover my face. You know what I mean? Like just one layer of covering my face. I don't know if that makes sense. It sounds like it doesn't, but hopefully someone out there understands what I'm saying. But I just can't find the best way to use this product, and I don't know, you know? My last resort that I've thought of is mixing it with something else, like mixing it with like my Colourpop Pretty Fresh, you know, tinted moisturizer or something like that. I haven't done that yet, but I will. Every time I use this, I end up taking it off, like right after I try to blend it out, and I get so disappointed because I really, really want to love this, but I just can't figure out how it works best for me, you know what I mean? The Urban Decay setting powder is definitely one of my new favorite setting powders. If you haven't tried this, I highly recommend it. This was in my May favorites video. I really, really love this product. It definitely blurs, and my makeup lasts. Like it really does last. Like I feel like they should have been came out with this because it is a really, really amazing product, and I highly recommend it, especially if you have oily skin. I think this will literally be your new best friend. On a different setting powder, I did recently try the Juno & Co makeup setting powder, and I really do like this. I'm wearing it today. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. This is the shade Brighten, and honestly, this powder is probably slightly lighter than the Jaclyn Cosmetics powder, and that's the crazy thing. So I don't really know if it's the shade of the Jaclyn powder or if it's just the formula that doesn't work for me personally, but this definitely works. I'm wearing it today and it looks beautiful on my skin, so I really do like this powder. I think it's only $25, which is an amazing price. The packaging is really luxe and gorgeous, and I highly recommend this powder. I think they only have 2, translucent and this one, but I would definitely recommend that you try out this powder. The Dose of Colors Nyma Tang collab I am obsessed with. I'm wearing the lip liner and the lipstick today. It's just really gorgeous. I'm just so happy that I have a nude lip shade that actually works for me and it doesn't look weird and I don't have to worry about anything. Like, it honestly just looks beautiful. Like, it looks like kind of like my lips, you know. I really love this and I just wish that this was like singles. I need these in singles. I haven't really wore the liquid lipstick. I really do feel like this is something I'm gonna wear in October, you know, for my birthday, or, you know, just around Halloween time whenever I do those really cute, gorgeous, like extravagant looks for Halloween, you know. So I haven't really gotten much use out of this yet, but I definitely will. And then the lip gloss, I haven't really used this either. I really do love this. It just hasn't been going with any of the looks that I've been wearing recently, but this combo right here, the lip liner and the lipstick, are definitely my favorites, and I hope that they come out with singles. I just took a little bit of an eating break, but I'm back now. I was hungry, so I needed to eat, but let's get back into the products. So I did just try the Pixi by Petra On The Glow blush stick. I don't know if this is new, but I did just start seeing it all over Insta. And I was like, I have to get this. Like, this looks so good, and I've never tried anything from Pixi, so this is my first Pixi product. And I got the shade Ruby, and it just says it's a hydrating solid cheek tint used on cheeks and lips, and it looks like a deodorant. And you guys, I love this. It is so good. It's so pigmented, but this is one of those products where it's like, I am gonna get a lot of use out of this, and you get a lot of product in here. Like, it keeps going. This is how much product comes in here, and I think that's so nice. And it does look like a little mini deodorant, and it's great. So if you've been seeing this on Insta just like me and you are interested in trying it, I highly recommend that you do. It's really great. It is one of those like summery kind of products. It does have a little bit of glow to it, but you definitely could set it with a powder. That's what I like to do. I like it, and I think I want to go pick up the like orangey shade in this, but I wanted to try this first to see if I liked it, and I do. So I do want to go pick up the other shade of this. The Morphe 2 concealer. I don't think that I use this on my channel, but I really do like it for that everyday, like lightweight makeup kind of look. If you haven't tried this out, it's really good. I like to use it to clean up my eyebrows. I also like to use it whenever I use like a tinted moisturizer. But yeah, this is a really great lightweight concealer. If you guys know Morphe 2, you know that they are more of that like lighter everyday makeup coverage kind of brand. So I wanted to try this out, and I do definitely like it, and I'm happy that I did, because I have been in the market for a nice everyday lightweight concealer, and this definitely gives me everything that I want. Another concealer that I've also really been loving is the Tarte Ultra Creamy Concealer. I've tried the like Shape Tape one, and I found that it left my under eyes really dry and old looking, and I was not about that. I was not about that at all. But then they came out with this, and I was like, okay, I want to give this a try and see if I like it. I really do like this concealer. This is really great. I'm always recommending this concealer to people. If you had to choose between this one and the original Shape Tape, I'd go with this one. The coverage is a lot lighter than Shape Tape, but overall, for like an easier, creamier, blendable, seamless under eye, Ultra Creamy is probably your best bet. Let's talk about these Pat McGrath blushes, you guys, because I have been really loving these blushes. Like, I'm wearing one today. The one I'm wearing today is Paradise Venus. This is the more like everyday blush shade. And I really love these blushes, especially for like that everyday makeup kind of look. It's just really gorgeous. I just love how my base looks today. It's pretty like glowy, but it also has like this gorgeous like muted color on it. And I have a lot of like orangey red blushes in my collection because that's what looks best on my skin tone. So when it comes to more like neutral terracotta kind of leaning blushes, I'm a little skeptical about how it's gonna look on my skin tone. And this is one of those blushes where I'm like, wow, you are the most perfect blush ever. And I have been reaching for this ever since I tried these out, and I'm obsessed with them. I have the other shades. I haven't really been using the other shades. I love the formula across all of them, but the one that I've just really been pulling from the most is that like everyday color. This is the Electric Bloom blush right here. If you haven't seen like my trying it out video, then definitely go and check that out. I also haven't decided if I'm gonna keep the like packaging. I want to keep the packaging because this was so expensive, but it's like so like having to take it out of the packaging every time I want to use it, it's a little bit extra much for me. I just want to like grab and go, you know? And I do recommend them, but I will stand behind the fact that when I say you don't have to feel like you have to go out and buy these high-end blushes, you can definitely dupe these. There's only so many blush shades you can make. Really what it comes down to for me is formula wise, because so yes, I'll have a couple of different orange blushes in my collection, the same berry blushes 10 times over, but if the formula is different across all of them and the wear time on them is different, then I don't mind buying a blush shade that I already have, if that makes sense. So these are really great. I love them, and so far they do last. I do wear a mask, and my makeup always comes off with mask. I still haven't figured out how to not have my makeup transfer on the mask, but it literally just wipes everything off. So that's how my makeup disappears. Like literally all my makeup disappears from my mask. But when I'm not wearing a mask, I do see that these Pat McGrath blushes stay on my cheeks. Since we're diving into blushes, let's talk about the cream blushes from LYS Beauty. So I have 3 of them. I really do love these blushes. If anything, the blushes is probably my favorite piece of makeup from the brand. I've tried the translucent setting powder, and initially when I first tried this out, I did like it. I have the shade Banana, but then one time that I used this, I used it under my eyes and it creased so bad. I was like, why is this not setting? So I kind of, even though it says it's a setting powder, I don't necessarily find that this works for me to set my concealer. I find that this works for me as like a brightening powder after I've set it. You know what I mean? Kind of like the Jaclyn setting palette. That's how I feel like this works for me, because it doesn't have enough like coverage or like powder that it picks up that'll like really help it set and not crease. But that's how I find that this works for me. I also have a bronzer shade from the line, and I have the shade Dark. I do like to use this on those everyday makeup looks as well. I don't use this for like more full coverage kind of looks because it doesn't like give me what I want. When I go full coverage, I want like a full-on bronze look. You know what I mean? I want full-on bronzer, and this just isn't the bronzer that I pick up, you know, to give me that. But when it comes to like everyday, keeping it simple, lightweight makeup, this definitely does work very well for me. In the blushes, I do have the shade Passion. So this one right here is Passion. This one right here is Inspire. Very pretty. And then I also have the shade Empower. I will say that these compacts are very hard to store, you guys. I have to like lay them down. I don't get to sit them in anything. They just lay down because they're just so hard to store because of the design. I love the design, but like it just is hard to store. Fair warning. The Tower 28 blushes are definitely my favorite cream blushes right now. These were in my May favorites video. I have been loving these since I've tried them. I highly recommend these. They're $20 a piece. Yes, that's a little bit pricey, but I really do love these blushes. Like the hype on these is so real. And this is a cream blush that definitely does last. all day, and I love it. I love the acrylic packaging on these, and I just love the feel of these blushes. They're very comfortable, very pigmented, and I thoroughly enjoy using these. So if you are like eyeing these, definitely put these on your wish list because they are definitely worth the pickup for sure. So I have the Colourpop cheek palette right here. I've used this a couple of times. I will say that the highlighter in this is definitely not my favorite. It's a little bit too deep for my liking. I can only really use it semi as like a nose highlight, but even then it's not like what I like personally. The blushes are really, really great. This right here, I think I could use as like a contour type of shade. I haven't really tried it out as that, but I have used the blushes and they're really, really cute. I do wish that this was a full cheek palette or that they used this compact as like a single blush shade. You know, like they came out with single blushes, single highlighters, single like powder, you know, powder products in this type of compact with the clear packaging rather than making it a like cheek palette. It definitely does give me like the Huda Beauty vibes with like size wise, because it definitely is the same size, but I thought I would really pull from this a lot more than I do. I don't know what it was, but it's just like I don't really reach for this that much because it only just gives me like two really deep blushes, which I love that they came out with deep blushes, but I don't feel like these two blushes give me enough variation. And then this one's just way too deep to be a blush, even though it's considered a blush and not a contour. These right here, I literally love this for a nice, easy, quick, one and done makeup look. These are so good, as well as the color sticks, you guys. I love these color sticks for just putting like shadow all over the lid and then a shade in the crease. Simple, easy, and I'm done. Like I love that quick makeup look, especially for the summertime. I love to do something really quick and easy. When I'm traveling, I just want to put a shadow on the lid and then call it a day with like a crease color, you know. But I do love these. These are very fragile, you guys. I dropped one of them twice. Oh, I'm so mad. Like this one, I had to just repress the palette Mocktail. My favorite one is this one right here called Sparkler. It's the deepest one, and I just love these gorgeous like browns. And here, this is like my favorite everyday eyeshadow palette. Very, very gorgeous, very beautiful, and I just love the acrylic packaging on these. I think that formula is definitely a like luxe Colourpop formula. I don't know what they did with that formula, but they made it luxe to the fullest. These two right here from Colourpop is the styling waxes. I really do like these a lot. They're very different types of products. Like they're literally waxes. And what's interesting to me is that the Anastasia Brow Freeze is like in the description characterized as a wax, but personally I feel like that's more of like a gel type of edge control kind of texture, you know. But these are literally waxes. Like you have to actually activate this product, whereas with the ABH Brow Freeze, it's already technically activated. It's just jelly like. But these, you have to spray them with something, so either water or setting spray. And something that I found with these is that I would not recommend taking a setting spray and spraying directly on the product, because once you're done with it, it'll get like these little bubbles, and then if you leave it out to dry, it will dry with those bubbles. Like it just looks gross to me. You have to end up like wiping it off with like napkins and stuff. It's just a lot. So I just recommend spraying your spoolie with water or setting spray and then rubbing into the product to like work it, you know. Out of these two, I think the clear one is probably the one that I use the most, because I don't really like to add color to my brows. I have the Act Natural Defining Mascara from Colourpop. I have the shade Brown and Black. I like these for my bottom lashes. It definitely is a lot better than the BFF mascara. This one I really do like for like when I'm simple everyday look. It's a great mascara. If I had to choose between the BFF one and this one, I would definitely choose this one. So I have these two products right here from NYX, and this is Milky Gloss. I love this gloss like more than anything. Like, oh my gosh, you guys, I love this gloss. It's so pretty. It's stunning. I tried to pick up the blue and the pink one, but then as I was going to check out, I was like, I don't think this will look good on me. So I ended up putting it back. But there is another shade that I want. I think it's another like brownie nudish kind of shade. And whenever that goes back in stock at Ulta, I'm definitely gonna pick it up. But so far, I really, really love this one. I love the feeling that it gives me. It does give me like butter gloss, like NYX butter gloss vibes. I have a ton of those. I haven't been pulling from them because I've just been using that one, but I do want to get back into the butter glosses because those are some of my favorite gloss formulas from NYX. And I also have this brow pen from NYX as well. You guys heard me talking about this in my favorites video for the month of May. I love this. My brow hairs are pretty thin. They never really recovered when I got my brows waxed one time, like 2 years ago, and it just was a horrible time. And I love this because it makes me look like I have brow hairs. It's like a really, really micro fine brush that just gives you like the little lines. Brows looked really cute and fluffy, and I really liked the look that I was going for, like with the brushed up look. You know, I'm really falling for that brow trend lately. So I didn't use this today, but any other day, I definitely go in with this. And I really do like it, and I highly recommend that you try it out. The new Huda Beauty Glow Obsessions highlighter palette is definitely a favorite of mine. Next to the Danessa Myricks highlighter palette, this has been a really amazing palette. I'm wearing it today. I just love like the lit from within glow. Like you can definitely build it up to like a really intense blinding highlight, but you could also keep it really subtle and like glowy, like with a lit from within kind of look. And I love this. Like I'm so happy that I picked this up because I literally like was grappling if I wanted to pick this up, but it definitely sold me, and I definitely really, really love this palette, especially the sizing of it. I feel like this is more realistic for a highlighter size because I would go through this. I don't really hit pan on a lot of products because I'm always rotating through it, but I do think that this is a product I definitely would hit pan on for sure. We're trickling down to the last couple of products, and they're just like eyeshadow palettes and things like that. So quickly, the Juvia's Place palettes right here. This is the Blushed Rose palette. I really, really love this. And then the Bronzed Rustic palette is also really gorgeous. Both of these are definitely gonna be like my two go-to summer palettes. I'm telling y'all now, I'm gonna be wearing these palettes a lot for the summertime because they're just really, really gorgeous, and I love them. Especially paired together, they're great palettes. Colourpop Limoncello is another one that I think is going to be a great palette for the summertime. I love playing with this palette. I pull this palette a lot for like the transition type shades because like I said, I've been looking for like a good shade to go in the crease, and this is one of those palettes that I just was like, this is a really pretty color story. It's very fun, summery, and fresh. So I definitely have been pulling from this a lot recently, and I do love it. And I just think it's a fun color story. It's a fun theme. It's just a fun palette all in all. So another summer palette. I feel like they're really setting us up for the summertime. This was really, really fun to play with. I want to play with this some more. I want to do like a pink and blue look with this palette because it's just a really pretty and fun palette. If you haven't seen my review on this palette, definitely go and check it out. These palettes right here from Colourpop are great, convenient colors. They have really great, convenient color stories. I like pulling from these a lot. I haven't really been pulling from my 9-pan palettes because I have these like on deck, you know. I have these like literally right there, ready for me, ready to go, very easy. So I'm really obsessed with these. I love these a lot. If you have the monochromatic palettes, you definitely don't really need these, but I will say that for convenience and travel wise, these are very convenient and easy to have. The look is kind of already set out for you, so that's a good thing. This palette right here, I have a lot to thank for. This review of this collection is my highest viewed video on my channel. I think it has like 15,000 views. I am so happy that I reviewed this because it has literally brought so many subscribers to my channel, and it just was such a fun collection. I really, really love it. It's a fun palette. It's a great great summer palette. The shimmers in here are phenomenal. And if you haven't gotten your hands on this, you got to, because it is limited edition and it's just a great palette to have. And if you haven't seen that review and you're interested in seeing that, I will link a card up above. The Little Mermaid x I Heart Revolution palette is also a fun addition to my collection. I do use it for like fun whenever I'm like, ooh, I want to do like a really nice like sea summery look. I do pull this palette. I haven't really used much of these like face palette shades because they are on the light side, but the palette itself like is really fun to play with. It's not the best eyeshadow formula on the market, but it is fun to play with and it is a fun palette to have. And this right here is the Morphe x Avani Greg for the Bebs palette. I've used this palette a couple of times since my review, and I always enjoy it. I don't really like the cake liners in the Morphe palettes. I don't really like the cake liner formula. It doesn't feel like an actual cake liner formula. It feels more of like an eyeshadow than anything. And whenever I use it, it just looks like it just messes up the product in the pan. I even think that it's in metal pans, and that's something I don't understand. If you put a cake liner in a metal pan, it's like when you spray it with water, it's gonna rust. You know what I mean? So that's what makes me feel like these aren't really like cake liners, you know, because a cake liner is different. It feels different. It performs differently. These do perform when you wet them, but they don't perform like cake liners, you know? I don't know if it's like a hybrid between a cake liner and an eyeshadow, but I don't really use the liners in the palette. This video is so long, I am gonna really have to cut this down. Is the Danessa Myricks Lightwork 2 palette. This highlighter palette is my favorite highlighter palette in my collection. I absolutely adore the shades in this palette. I always use these two. The shade Cinnamon Sugar and Cappuccino are two of my most used shades in this palette. I often forget about the rest of the shades. I do need to pull from them. Like this could be a really gorgeous like blush topper. I might try to put that on, but I really do love this, and it just made me want to dive into her brand a lot more and just play with her products. Every product that I've tried from her brand I've thoroughly enjoyed and loved, but the highlighter palette is definitely my favorite product that I've tried. So that was the new makeup roundup video for the past 2 months. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Definitely let me know your thoughts down below. I know this was a very long video, but it was a lot of products, and if you've made it this far, you are definitely a real one. I thank you so much for that. So I need to end this video right here because it is very long, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.